Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z Flashback, the series of explorations of the 150 games that make up Atari Flashback Classics for Nintendo Switch. Today's game is Concentration, which is a 1978 release for the Atari 2600, programmed by Jim Hoyther, I think his name is. So Hoyther developed several successful games for the Atari 2600 and Atari 5200. And a lot of people seem to most fondly regard his version of Real Sports Football for the Atari 5200 as one of his best games, and indeed one of the best sports games on that platform. So Concentration itself was also sold as a game of concentration and hunt and score, depending on which territory you were buying it in and who was selling it and that sort of thing. It's a straightforward adaptation of the classic card game where you flip over cards and try and find pairs, but there's a number of different play options. So you can play it by yourself or with a friend. There's the option to have wild cards in there as well, so a few different ways you can do it. So it might not be the most complex or interesting game in the Atari 2600 library, but at the time it originally released, it fit right in with the console's sort of family-friendly library. So the console was very much trying to sort of bring up the idea of families sitting around the television and enjoying these games together. And this sort of game is one that could be enjoyed by pretty much anyone, even if you've never used a computer before. So let's go play Concentration.
Okay, here we are once again with Atari Flashback Classics, this time taking a look at Concentration. So we're back with the Facecam today because I am recording this commentary live once again after our couple of weeks of combat. So let's take a look at the manual. A game of concentration, game program instructions. This is the old school Atari instruction manual look and feel. So we've got some sort of clairvoyant figure on there and various card patterns. Yeah. Alright. Use your keyboard controllers with this Atari game program. So this is one of the few games that use the little keypad devices you could plug into the Atari 2600, which were regarded as helping the machine be more of a computer. They were used for sort of more educational style games and things that were more family friendly and aimed at children and that sort of thing. So, how to play. There are two versions of Hunt and Score TM. So this is the other name for Concentration. It was released in some places as Hunt and Score instead of Concentration. There's a 16 square matrix and a 30 square matrix. Each game version is played the same. The only difference is the number of matrix squares. Behind each numbered square is an object. When each player takes a turn choosing two matrix squares. When a player chooses a square, an object is revealed. If the two squares objects are identical, the player scores 1 point. Yeah, so it's basic Concentration. Here are the various different objects you've got available to you. Actually, some surprisingly detailed graphics for a Atari 2600 game there. I like that crab and the ranger with the mouth. The bunny looks kind of terrifying now. Okay, when you choose two squares with identical objects behind them, a sound signifying a correct answer occurs. The two squares disappear from the matrix. You score 1 point if the difficulty is in B position. The player scores 2 points each time a correct match is made. Okay, right, yeah, so if you're on A difficulty, you get 1 point. If you're on B difficulty, you get 2 points. So if you're playing a two-player game, you can actually handicap one player by having different difficulty settings for each person. When you select two squares, these objects are not identical. A sound signifying an incorrect answer occurs. The two objects disappear and the numbers reappear on the square. And in two-player games, the other player makes a selection. In one-player games, the computer scores 1 point and you select another two squares. Some games feature a wild card behind the matrix squares, so that matches any object, scoring a point for the player who selects it. And so on. That's about it. So, each player uses a keyboard controller to make selections. In two-player games, the left controller player begins the game. Press the number of the matrix square on the keyboard controller. The number you press will appear at the top of the screen. After you press the keyboard number, enter it into the computer by pressing the Enter button on the keyboard. And that's it. Okay, so there's four different variations on the game. So the 16 square matrix you can play with one or two players and with the wild cards on or off. And then you can do the same with the 30 square matrix as well. So pretty simple set of variations on this one. Alright, let's play. So, one player, 16 squares, no wild cards. Off we go. So, you begin by typing in the number that you want to check. So let's begin with 1. There's a crab in 1. And let's look at number 2. There's a bell in 2. And a horrible, horrible noise. Alright, let's look at 3. Ladybird. And 4. There's a crab in 4. Alright, so we can go 1 and 4. And match them up. Let's have a look at 5. Table and chairs, we don't know where the other one of those is yet. There's a ladybird. That's a horrendous noise. Alright, 3 and 6. On to 7. That's the bell, that goes with 2. And then 8. That's the Screaming Ranger. Ah! And some ducks, I guess. Alright. 10. Television. 11. Also television. Very nice. 12. Butterfly. 13. Butterfly. 14. Screaming Ranger. That was... no. So you can press star to delete what you just put in. 8 for Screaming Ranger. 15 for the ducks. That was 9. And then 16 for the table and chairs. And 5 to finish it off. That's that. So 16 points. The computer got 4 points there. That's it. That's how this game works. Alright, so let's try... oh, hold on. Let's try one player with wildcards. So this will be the same sort of thing, but there will be cards that will match with anything in here. So we've already got a wild card, so we can just choose whatever square we want with that. So let's go for 16. There we go. That gets rid of those 2. Number 2. Table and chairs. 3. Now that's interesting. We've already got rid of the ladybird. So what does that mean? Television. I guess we need the other wild card to get rid of that ladybird then. Uh, 8. Grab. 6. Yes. Number 9. Screaming Ranger. Yep, very nice. 11. There's the other wild card. Yeah, so we have to put that with the other ladybird, I guess. 12. Bell. 13. Nope. We see the ducks already? I can't remember. We did. Alright, 14 and 12. And then that leaves 2 and 15. That's interesting. So, in theory, you could screw yourself over with that, I guess. Or could you? Does it say anything about that in the manual? Let's have a look. So, a wild card automatically matches any object, scoring 1 point for the player who selects it. Yeah, just it doesn't address that at all. Interesting. Alright, well, let's move on to the big board. So 30 squares, no wildcards. Number 1. Llamas. Number 2. Terrifying hell beast. Oh. I left it on 2-player, didn't I? Give me the console back. There we go. Try again. 1. Screaming Ranger. 2. Castle. UFO. Nope. I will say, as simple as straightforward as this is, it is presented quite nicely. So, like those numbers on the cards look quite nice. I think I'd rather that they sat still rather than cycling around like that. But I suppose it does add a bit of visual interest. Oh no, that was the previous game, wasn't it? Nope. The detail on the objects is quite nice. Oh, that's the weird bunny, isn't it? Screaming Ranger was in 1, wasn't he? Yes, there he is. Oh, did we see those somewhere? I don't think we did. Crab we did see somewhere. Was that in 7? It was. My memory's not as bad as I thought it was. 14. Castle. That's in 2. 15. Ladybird. We've not seen that, I don't think. So let's look in 16. Oh, good luck. How fortunate. 17. Surprisingly detailed car. Television. Where was that? I think it was 12. It was 12. Okay, how about 19? Boat. Nope. Oh, I can't remember if we saw the llamas or not. Were they in 6? No, they were not. That does not help me. That's where the boat is, though. So, 19 and 21. 22 and 23. Very nice. 24 and 25. Nope. That's Evil Hellbeast. Evil Hellbeast and 25. Okay. 26. Oh god, where was that? 8? Well remembered me. 27. Bunny. That was somewhere on the right. I think it was 9. Yep. 28. There's the surprisingly detailed car. That was in 17. 29. That's the ducks. That was 11, I think. Yep. And 30 gives us the butterfly, which was 24. Yep. So we had seen the llamas before. And there we are. 3010. Or 2010. 3010? I don't know. Anyway, alright, let's try a big board with wildcards. Give me a 1. Give me a 2. Give me a 3. Give me a 4. And a 5. And a 6. I've completely forgotten what was in all the previous ones already. Oh no. Not paying attention at all. 10? Oh, now we have seen that. Where was that? It was 8? Yes. And 12. Okay. Oops. 13. That was in 6? No, it was not. Maybe it was in 7. Yes, it was in 7. Oh, wildcard. Right. Let's... Well, might as well. 30. UFO. Alright. 15. Crab. Did we see that? I can't remember. Right, there's the other UFO. Let's deliberately not use the wildcard on that, just to see if you can screw yourself over. Ladybird was in 11? Yes. Car was in 5? Yep. Screaming Ranger. Not in 20. Bunny was in 10? Yep. Llamas. 1? No. Right, wild card. Let's put that with the llamas just to see what happens. So we go 22. $24. Oh, where was that? I remember seeing it. Not there. That one is, though. Okay, and 26. Screaming Ranger. 19? Yep. 27. Bellend. That was in 20, I think. 28. Crab. Oh, God. Where were you, Crab? 15? Yes. 29. Boat. You were in 1. Okay. Now we are in the spot of bother. Television. 24. Ducks. 9? Yep. And then 6. Llamas. Okay, so you can reach an unwinnable situation, and it doesn't do anything about it. So you are then locked into just doing that over and over until you reset the game. Okay. So that's nice to know. Yeah, I think we've probably exhausted the possibilities this game has to offer for now. Aside from playing it 2-player, which is much like playing it 1-player, only you have 2 people instead, and you're scored against each other rather than how many failed guesses you make. Let's leave that there for now. Obviously not the best in the Atari 2600's library, but for a simple game aimed at families and children, it's presented quite nicely, aside from that horrible noise when you get it wrong. That would have scared me as a kid. I used to get quite scared by horrible noises like that. when I was a child, and that would have really put me off playing this game. But not everyone is as oversensitive as young me. Anyway, let's leave that there. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. New episodes of Atari A to Z are on Tuesdays and Atari ST A to Z on Thursdays. Check out atariatoz.wordpress.com for a full archive. Do please also check out my other projects moegamer.net, where I explore Japanese and Japanese-inspired games from yesterday and today, and videopackgames.wordpress.com, which aims to catalogue the small but well-formed library of the Philips G7000 Videopack computer, also known as the Magnavox Odyssey 2. You can also support my work on Patreon or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.